Imagine waking up, checking your phone, and seeing your humble pile of ADA suddenly sitting at $7. Wild, right? But here's the kicker. I spent the last 48 hours chasing the data to see if that jaw-dropping price tag could actually happen. And what I found will either turbocharge your conviction or make you hit the sell button faster than you can say, block is confirmed. Now, this might just shock you, but I'm not a financial advisor and nothing in this video is financial advice. Cryptocurrencies are highly volatile and you could lose all the money that you invest. You should always do your own research and consult a qualified professional. Your investments are entirely your responsibility and you should know that nothing is ever guaranteed when it comes to investing. Neither I, this channel, nor YouTube are liable for any losses, and this video today is for entertainment and educational purposes only. Okay, so picture this. Late last night, I'm hunched over my desk, half empty coffee on one side, half full optimism on the other, combing through DeepSeek's brand new AI report. Now, they're calling for a 10-fold launch in Cardano's price by the end of the year. Yeah, from roughly 60 odd cents today to a glorious $7. Now, naturally, my first reaction was equal parts giddy and skeptical. Kind of like having, maybe should say, hearing your buddy say that he can do a kickflip, even though you've only seen him kind of trip over, flip-flops. Now, I had to know. Now, are we staring at the next, crypto Cinderella story here? Or is this just another pumpkin disguised in glittery hopium? Now, here is why you should stick around, right? Now, I'm going to walk you through, I should say, all of the good, the bad, and the kind of gloriously ridiculous in this particular forecast. We're going to sprinkle in some pretty juicy stats and reveal how a potential $10 ADA target could actually reshape your portfolio for better or for mayhem. Plus, somewhere in here, I'm going to share that kind of one metric that almost everyone is ignoring that could actually make or break Cardano's moonshot. Oh, and quick heads up, there's a link to our free educational Discord server in the description down below. So if you're kind of tired of the doom scrolling on crypto Twitter and want a smarter, friendlier place to chat, hop in after this video. The door is wide open. All right then, let's rewind just a few days ago to June 6th, right? ADA was kind of lounging around at 64 cents, already down nearly 6% in the day. Now, if coins had a mood, Cardano was at least wouldn't have been that kid who kind of studied all night just to bomb the quiz, right? 5 straight days of red candles, bottoming at 62 cents. It's pretty brutal. So how on earth does an AI model roll out and declare, relax folks, 10 times gains are imminent? Now, that's the question that kind of slapped me in the face harder than my alarm clock at 6 a.m. Enter DeepSeek. Now, if you haven't heard of these guys, think of them as China's answer to every sci-fi movie where the AI knows you better than your mum. Now, their model kind of chews through ridiculous troves of on-chain activity, social sentiment, and macro trends. Now, on the surface, it kind of sounds pretty legit, but here's the rub. TapTools, the analytics site that broke the story, didn't actually publish DeepSeek's reasoning, just the kind of headline number. So it's kind of like telling me that there's gold in them hills and then walking off without actually handing me a map. Now, naturally, the crypto community went a bit berserk. Bulls cheered, bears kind of jeered, and one guy on X claimed that he's selling his house to double down on ADA. Please, dude, don't do that. And that brings us to the first big problem. The kind of speculation feedback loop. Now, a kind of critic on X nailed it by saying AI eats whatever you feed it. Garbage in, garbage out. So if the model's training data is kind of marinated in bullish hopium tweets, of course it's going to spit out a skyrocketing price target. So imagine feeding your fitness tracker only pizza photos and then wondering why it keeps telling you tomorrow's the perfect day for a run, or at least to run a marathon. It's kind of the same vibes, but let's not kind of throw the whole spaghetti dinner at the wall just yet. There's real, grounded analysis out there that points to a kind of tighter but still compelling picture. Changelly's desk of number crunchers forecast ADA ending this year between 62 and 82 cents, with an average of 72 cents. The translation here is that there's almost no upside from today. Pretty ouch, right? Coin Codex is a shade brighter though, 87 cents to 94 cents. Investing Haven widens the lens, saying that we could see a $1.80, 8 by the end of 2025, maybe even $2.36 if the stars align. Now, if we stack those conservative calls against DeepSeek's $7 moonbeam, and you kind of get us kind of spread so wide that you could drive a convoy of mining rigs all the way through it. So how do we decide who's got the secret sauce then? Well, it's time for me to put on, I should say, the gumshoe hat. The first clue is the market cap math. For ADA to hit $7, its own market cap would jump past $250 billion. It is not impossible. But remember eGrad Crypto's cautionary tale. He compared ADA to XRP's underperformance during the 2021 hype cycle. Now, XRP never cracked its old all-time high, even when Bitcoin went bananas. Now, eGrad suggests that Cardano could be the XRP of this cycle. It's kind of reliable technology, it's got a huge community, but lower upside compared to newer, flashier mid-caps. So if you're kind of banking on a 10-bagger, he argues that maybe you should seek smaller caps with more runway. It's kind of like expecting your dad's trusty pickup to outdrag a fresh off-the-line sports car. Is it possible? Sure. Is it likely? Let's be real. The second clue then is the total crypto market cap. Now, DeepSeek's target quietly assumes that we'll actually see a $10 trillion industry by the end of 2025. Now, for context, we're hovering around $2.5 trillion today. That means adding roughly the entire GDP of Japan and Germany combined into the crypto coffers in 18 months. Now, I'm not saying that it's impossible. Stranger things have happened, but that requires more than just retail FOMO. Now, we would need big daddy sovereign wealth funds, pension giants, and perhaps a sprinkle of AI-powered robo-investors all piling in. A tidal wave, not a trickle. And in fact, here is the twist in our tale. Short-term pain often sets up for long-term gain. Now remember the kind of regretful trader who sold all his ADA way too early and now wants to buy back cheaper. He's not alone. When markets dip, diamond hands start itching to scoop up deals. So let's think of it like Black Friday for crypto nerds. You don't walk into the store upset everything is discounted. You just grab a cart and race the grandmas to aisle 7. Okay, so it's stats time. Now, ADA's current circulating supply sits around 35 billion tokens. Now, every penny movement, up or down, kind of shifts billions of dollars in market cap. A tenfold price rise multiplies that by, 10. So if you believe in muscle memory, Cardano's past cycle actually supports insane dives followed by rocket boost recoveries. After the 2018 crash, ADA crumbled 98% before ripping 45-fold in 2021. That's the DNA of a coin that loves drama. Yet the fundamentals still matter. Cardano's Hydra scaling upgrade is slowly rolling out. If it kind of achieves its kind of quota million transaction per second dream, that is no joke, right? And plus, we've kind of got Mithril, Babylon, a vibrant stablecoin ecosystem under construction, and Cardano's devs are basically the tortoise in a world of, flash and dash hares. Slow, methodical, occasionally boring, but sometimes that wins the race. Now, let me bring you into my own messy spreadsheet. I projected 3 different scenarios. 1, the kind of bearable bare minimum, right? ADA stays flat around 75 cents while Bitcoin chops away sideways. That's kind of Changelly's lane. Now, if you're a swing trader, you might squeak and squawk out 15% by, front running the next kind of mini rally. It's not life changing, but it beats kind of your savings account every time. 2, you've got the kind of moderate moon, right? ADA claws to $2, right? Landing in investing haven's upper range. Now for that, we'd kind of need Bitcoin flirting with 160 grand, Ethereum reclaiming maybe, 16K, and altcoins sentiment kind of warming up like a first date coffee. It's a respectable kind of triple there. Then there's 3, the full send fantasy, $7 as DeepSeek dares. Now to reach this, macro conditions must be flawless. ETF fever on autopilot, inflation cooling like yesterday's pizza, US regulatory clarity, and, oh yeah, maybe the Yankees finally winning another World Series, just for cosmic symmetry. Now, it's kind of like the everything happening right kind of script. Possible, yes. Probable, that's between you and your own risk tolerance. Now, let's do a quick pit stop here and shout out to the Blowfin crypto exchange. There is an affiliate link in the description down below. Now, using that link supports the channel and feeds my caffeine habit. So if you're kind of hunting low-fee futures or want to copy trades on some smarter degen than me, then why don't you take a look using the link below. All right. Back on the road, let's tackle sentiment. Cardano has one of the loudest, proudest communities in crypto. They're like the kind of Swifties of blockchain. They're fiercely loyal and ready to vote ADA for prom king, whether prom exists or not. Now that matters because social buzz can literally soften volatility. So when a coin's holders are basically chanting climb baby climb, fewer panic sell at minor dips, which props up the price floors. Now, with that said, social echo chambers can also blindfold you. I call it kind of blindfold surfing, right? You feel the waves, but you're still face planting on the reef. So if DeepSeek's model was fed tweets claiming ADA is the second coming, well, that bias will be kind of seeping into its math. And that's why skeptics are barking here, right? They've seen AI chatbots spout nonsense when the training pool is polluted. So you got to remember when early language models insisted that the sky was green because enough trolls said so. So yeah, it's the same kind of principle. Okay, let's inject a personal anecdote then, because I actually bought my first ADA way back in 2019 during a lonely kind of, Beijing layover with Wi-Fi that cut out every kind of 7 minutes. I slapped in $200 at 3 cents, felt like a clown spending airport food money on digital magic beans, but you fast forward to 2021 peak and those beans ballooned to almost $3 per piece. Now I, of course, felt like the Wizard of Oz. Then, bear market, I watched that stack deflate to under 40 cents and seriously considered rage quitting crypto altogether. But I am here, still kind of clinging like a kind of stubborn, barnacle, because Cardano's roadmap, if executed, can legitimately reshape how we build dApps, especially in regions where infrastructure is sketchy. Now that vision, it keeps me cozy at night when price lines kind of go a bit south. And speaking of cozy, a gentle reminder that our Discord community is free, drama-free, and possibly the best place to ask, should I DCA? Without kind of being roasted alive, that is. The link, of course, is in the description. Come say hi, share a meme, or yell at me for mispronouncing Hydra. I don't think I did, but I mispronounced a lot of words on this channel, so you can roast me nonetheless. All right then, it's time that we hit the climax. Could DeepSeek actually be right? Well, let's do a bit of a sanity check. If ADA reaches $7, its market cap would rival, get this, today's Ethereum valuation. That implies either Ethereum also 5 to 10x's and drags along ADA, or Cardano leapfrogs ETH altogether. Both scenarios mean that the entire market cap, or crypto market, is on the greatest bull market and bull sprint that we've ever kind of witnessed. And I do believe that is what we're looking at. And hey, if the total crypto cap does actually cruise past $10 trillion, which I think it will, then we're probably too busy celebrating anyway to nitpick which coin sits where. However, and this is a sober kind of middle section, I guess, of our roller coaster, we shouldn't and we don't really want to underestimate the kind of macro headwinds. Rate hikes, political turmoil, or even unforeseen black swan hacks could actually nuke sentiment overnight. right? One more FTX level blow up and regulators worldwide might actually slam the brakes on so hard that even Bitcoin limps. And that is why risk management is not just a boring compliance term, it is in fact your parachute. Okay, so let's wrap up some quick numbers around just that, right? Let's suppose you own 10,000 XRP at 65 cents, right? Cost basis is going to be $6.5 grand. If DeepSeek's kind of prophecy plays out, then you're sitting on 70 grand. Nice. But if, Changelly kind of forecast is accurate, then you're barely breaking even. And if the bears kind of drag it back towards 25 cents, you're kind of staring at a 70% haircut. Stings, doesn't it, right? The question is, do you have the stomach for it and the time horizon to ride out all of those waves? And here is my rule of thumb. Never invest an amount that actually causes insomnia, right? If you're watching ADA dive 5% and it ruins your next family dinner, you're overexposed. Crypto should feel like an exciting roller coaster, not a heart attack simulator. Now, before we land this plane, a sprinkle of optimism, right? Cardano, it isn't standing still. Partnerships all over the place, plus a swarm of DeFi projects building on Plutus, keeps the fundamentals juicy, right? Combine that with Bitcoin's, up and coming cycles, increasing institutional curiosity in altcoin layer ones, and you've kind of got a recipe for at least nudges the kind of possibility or probability needle towards the bullish side, in my humble opinion. But will that be enough firepower to launch to $7? I'll echo the kind of verdict that I reach at 3 a.m. It's possible, right? But it's a highly kind of difficult combo move, right? So let's think 360, no scope, from across the map in terms of, COD or Call of Duty as COD as people would call it. Now, if that of course lands, legendary, right, is what you would be. If not, hey, at least we're still alive and still learning. Now, all of that said and done, whether you kind of stack ADA till kingdom come or you kind of keep it at arm's length, the lesson here is universal. Predictions, AI-powered or otherwise, are just fancy bedtime stories without kind of solid risk management and personal conviction. You need to make your moves accordingly. You need to keep educating yourself and maybe drop by the Discord to swap strategies with people who actually read the fine print. And remember, if you decide to trade on Bluefin, use the affiliate link down below. It helps the channel and you'll probably actually get a nice zone bonus as well. It's kind of like a win-win. But of course, it's an affiliate link and affiliate links are not acceptable in every single jurisdiction. So go ahead and check out the website via the link down below. And if the link doesn't work for you, then you're going to be in a jurisdiction that does not support crypto exchanges.